Whitetail season is coming soon. Here's a good sign of it. Thought I'd give you this little tip. I'm going to be going out probably tomorrow night with this rig. I've got one boar coming into a feeder about half a mile from here.
Think the hogs are coming in here? Yep. This is where you want to hog hunt. So we're out here filling feeders.
Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Whitetail season is coming soon. Here's a good sign of it.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Trigicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
Hi folks, it's Luke Clayton. I want to talk hog hunting with you. It is August now in Texas. got a thermometer on my cabinet with 102 in the shade. It's mid-afternoon right now, but I'm preparing for a hog hunt. For many, many years I've hunted hogs, and in the summertime very often they become almost entirely nocturnal. They move at night. So you need some way to spot them, obviously, to shoot them at night. Now, I go back 35 years ago. I had a buddy that was an electrician, and he and I packed batteries back in the woods, rigged them up in series with a switch, and baited up an area for hogs. Well, we just knew we were going to fill the freezers with pork. We had double alt buckshot. That's what we used. I think we killed 2 hogs out of about 15 that come up that way. But hunting at night has progressed big time since those years. I even remember a guy that used to put cellophane over a flashlight, you know, red or green cellophane to shoot. I mean, I go back that far, night hunting hogs. But digital night scopes are great, you know, but they work on IR, so there's some limits there. Thermal is a way to go. That's what I use now, is thermal, but I'm not knocking digital night vision. I mean, it works great, but you do have the problem of refraction when you're using a light at night for the scope. Show you what I've got right here. The rifle's going to seem a little bit unconventional to you, but I'll tell you about this. It's an big bore air gun, a Seneca Dragon Claw. But this is an AGM Global Vision Rattler, and I'll give you a close-up of it here in a little bit. It's a compact scope. This scope sells for the basic entry-level one just a tad over $1,000, which is very, very reasonable. Now, what will that $1,000 thermal scope do? You can shoot hogs all day long at 100 yards with it. It's very good for that. Now, this scope, that's the basic model, the 19 millimeter objective lens. But you can go on up in dollar value on these scopes too. And AGM Global Vision they make the Adder, which I've got one of those. I call it on my hog hammer a little 223. Killed lots of hogs with that. But this is AGM Global Vision Rattler. Check it out. It's an awesome scope, thermal. Shoot hogs all day long out to 100 yards with it. It'll identify them really well at night. Now, this is a Seneca Dragon Claw, folks. It's an upgrade. It's actually called the Seneca Dragon Claw 2. Now, I've shot the Dragon Claws for years. This one, shooting a 336 grain bullet, now develops about, let me see, I've got it all written at 340 foot-pounds of energy. I've got a cheat sheet down here, folks. It'll develop 600 feet per second shooting an air bolt. This thing is geared up to shoot air bolts too, although I just shoot bullets with it. 860 feet per second with a 177 grain round ball, which I mostly hunt hogs with mine and deer. So I use a bigger bullet, a 300 or 336 grain bullet. Awesome tool. Why do I want to use a big bore air gun? It's just fun. This thing will drop them like a bad habit. Always shoot hogs right behind the ear, I tell people, and they don't run. I mean, granted, you can shoot them behind the shoulder, that'll kill them, but hit one right behind the ear and he's going down. Now, a lot of people talk about a brain shot, but if you think about it, that's an iffy shot at best. Hogs are always moving. You try to lock in on that little spot like that in their head moving, you can wound one or miss them completely. But I thought that would be some good information for you. Do check out the AGM Global Vision Rattler, R-A-T-T-L-E-R. That might be what fits your needs. Gosh, I mean, I don't know what it won't do. What it won't do is if you're on say you want to shoot multiple running hogs, you know, and you're on a big field shooting at 300 yards, which I don't do anyway, this is not the scope for you. But if you want to shoot them, say, 50, 100 yards out over a corn feeder or just on the edge of a field, you really ought to look into that. Now, maybe, just maybe next week, I'll be able to show you a video of a hunt with this AGM Global Vision Rattler. It's got an onboard camera, video camera. You can take JPEG still shots with it also. Just an awesome air gun. Now, are there more powerful air guns out there? There definitely are. But, you know, over 300 foot-pounds of energy, this thing will do anything I need it to do. Plus, it's just a neat-looking gun. Wooden stock, you know, just a great gun. It's got a couple of reservoirs for air underneath the barrel here. Thought I'd give you this little tip. I'm going to be going out probably tomorrow night with this rig. I've got one bore coming into a feeder about half a mile from here, so we're going to try to put that rascal on the ground and ultimately in the cooler. It's a little bit hot out here. Like I say, the thermometer back there is pegging around 100. So hope this helps you a little bit. Let's get on with the rest of A Sportsman's Life. I know we've got some more fun and interesting segments set up for you.
A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Mossberg, American built, American strong. The YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, your go-to for thermal hunting scopes and spotters. Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything air guns.
Hello sports fans, Bill Carey with Striker Express with your fishing tip this week on A Sportsman's Life. We're going to go sharpen some knives, and I myself and my son Chris happen to use straight knives. We'll go show you how we do this. Come on. Okay folks, here's the True Tone machine we use. I've had this for golly 30 years. They're a $1,000 machine nowadays, but it works good. Chris and I happen to use straight knives. We use a lot of electric knives and I buy a lot, but here's how this works. This is so easy. Adjust those wheels. 1, 2, down to here, slow it down, knock it, and then I do this. That baby's ready for another day to clean fish. So that's how we sharpen a knife here. Use a real nice machine to get the job done. Because this is just a sample of our knives, and we like to have good, sharp knives. So there's your fishing tip this week on A Sportsman's Life. Go catch a fish.
feeder setup that's accurate and timely, and in an area where there are a lot of hogs, this is what you'll find. I'm standing right under the feeder, and I just want to show you the trails coming in here. One there. One there. Look at these two, they cross. Think the hogs are coming in here? Yep. This is where you want to hog hunt. So we're out here filling feeders today, and that comes with land management. So we're out here taking care of the land, keeping the roads cleared, and of course filling feeders. So unfortunately, it's going to be triple digits today, so I've got a limited morning time here to fill feeders, so we're going to have at it for a bit and get some more filled up. Hog heaven. And there are hog tracks in here everywhere. I actually just scooped out 3 or 4 hogs, and just want to give you an idea of where those hogs are during the day on a hot summer day. All right, so you see this tall grass here? They just am straight out of there. But I want to show you. Get down low level here. There was a hog sitting right in there. Of course, he took off that way. It's all wet. There's water down in there, so they lay down in that water. As you can see here, digging for worms and everything else that they can get here along the edge of the creek. The creek, that is where the hogs spend their time during the summer. There's hog tracks in here everywhere. They'll dip right down into that creek, cool off, get a drink. This is where they are. So if you're wanting to hunt, do a spot and stalk kind of a hunt, this is the kind of stuff you want to navigate around. You're not really going to get through it because some of it's really thick. But if you walk into the wind, I might have just been able to shoot. I don't know if I would have got one with a bow and arrow, but with a gun, that one I spooked, I think I could have probably shot. So just a little tip here from us here at Sportsman's Life. You want to hog hunt in the summertime, early, late, and near water. You will find hogs.
Okay, we're on to the next feeder. Got to get them all filled. It's starting to get hot.
Well, today, folks, it's supposed to get to about 102, 103 degrees here in East Texas, and we are filling feeders. This is, I think if you want to call it a necessary evil. If you want to hunt animals, you got to keep these feeders going, and certainly it is a lot of work. So today we're going to fill about half the feeders on the ranch. We'll get up early tomorrow morning and we'll wrap up. So we've got this one, we've got one more to touch on, and then we're done for the morning. We'll come back tomorrow and finish this up. So you keep these feeders going year-round like this, and albeit you don't have to, spit a whole bunch of corn. I literally do 1 second on each one. Just drop a little bit of corn, keeps these animals moving through here. So that's your tip of the week. Keep your feeders going. Check them off and make sure they're running, and they're running correctly, and they're going off at the time you want them set for. So set your trail cams up. Got a trail cam going, you can tell exactly when that feeder goes off, because you can see it. I've got a trail cam that, you know, it sends pictures right to my phone, so I know the animals are there right when the feeder goes off. So, all right, folks, back to work. Remember to hydrate. In this heat, when you're working, that's the most important thing you gotta have right there. One bag left here. Add these. We're halfway through our pallet of corn. 2,000 pounds of corn, folks, we put in here every couple months, but you know what? That's good for the animals. They all feed. I don't care if it's birds, squirrels, deer, hogs, ducks. I've seen everything. Even buzzards feed on this corn. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Got one dead battery. Another thing you got to keep up with when you're down here working at your place. Make sure your feeders are running. If your batteries are weak, either replace them or charge them. This one's just weak, so we're going to charge it, get it back out. All right, let's call it a morning. It's starting to get hot.
Folks, this segment was brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Smoke in Tex Electric Smokers, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, YO Ranch Headquarters, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro. Tune in next week for some more real-world outdoor adventures right here on A Sportsman's Life.